arguably one of the oldest brands in car audio. We're talking Memphis Audio today, who has been around forever, but has constantly evolved and have innovated, as I've said time and time again. And today, we're going to prove to you guys just how innovative this brand in car audio actually is. We've got their president, NICK LOMONACO, joining us to give us all the details. This is CMA Networks, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about Memphis. And it starts now. Welcome, everybody, to another CMA Networks presentation here, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and on the menu today is everybody's favorite car audio brand. Yes, Memphis Audio. Man, so much to talk about because this is one of those legendary brands that really made a name for themselves in many different avenues. Now, of course, over the years, they've expanded into other categories. We got a chance to talk to them when it came to power sports, motorcycle, and even marine. But today we're going back to its roots in car audio. Now, Nick, we've got a lot to cover, as I can see from our agenda here today. But what are we going to cover as far as categories are concerned when it comes to car audio and Memphis?
Hey, Ben. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, we can't talk about our entire line in one video, but we're going to give you some of the best sellers, some of the coolest stuff we have in enclosures, speakers, amplifiers, subs, everything we got. We're going to talk about some of the best stuff.
So much to cover on today's episode with Memphis Audio, but first, a quick message from our partner, SiriusXM, reminding you dealers out there just why you love it. And when we come back, a deep dive over multiple categories with Memphis Car Audio.
Hey guys, Ricky Lima here from SiriusXM. I had a chance to speak to some dealers and ask them what they love about selling SiriusXM. Here's what they had to say.
Coast-to-coast coverage.
I love SiriusXM for commercial-free music.
It's a great add-on sale and a profit opportunity.
We love selling SiriusXM because you can listen to the same channel coast to coast.
Profitability and ease of installation. It's a no-brainer.
We love selling SiriusXM for its ease of installation, great profitability, and reliability. People love it.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Now, Nick, I know there's a lot of places we can start, but one of the hottest things right now going with Memphis really are the enclosures. So I figured that'd be a great starting point. And within the enclosure selection, I feel like the Mojos have kind of dominated and are really, got everybody all in. People are coming asking for it. They've kind of made a name for themselves. So can you take some time to break down for us these popular enclosures in the Mojo series?
Yeah, Ben, one thing that we're really known for is the wide range of enclosures that we have. But the Mojo series is probably our most popular. So we start with the big Mojos, the big boys. We have a dual 15 enclosure. We call this the casket box because it is just giant and it weighs a jillion pounds, but it also pounds. This dual 15 Mojo box has a beautiful piano black finish on the front of it, nice rounded corners, side ported, and just dropping this into an SUV or really anywhere you can fit it, you're going to feel it. I mean, this is 3,000 watts of pounding bass in your car. And although the popularity of big Mojos has been something we've had for a long time, the newest version of Mojos, the Mojo Minis, has quickly jumped on board to be the name, really, as Mojo name has really resonated with our customers because there's not as much room. Not everyone has a big SUV. Trunks are getting smaller. And so these Mojo Mini enclosures that we have are super popular. So whether you want a dual 6 downfire wedge box to put under a seat behind a single cab in a Jeep, or we have regular traditional enclosures in single and dual 8. Again, having that piano black finish look really awesome in the car, and they sound great. It's actually the woofer I have in my car. And then, hands down, the most popular are Mojo Mini truck enclosures. So these enclosures, we have vehicle specific for Ford, Chevy, 02 to 18 Ram, and then 19 and up Ram. And if you've not heard one of these boxes, you're not doing yourself any justice. These things slam. They're truck line. They got Memphis and Mojo routed into them. They look great. They fit right under the seat, and they absolutely pound. I would say pound for pound that they're the best truck enclosures you can get. Obviously, I'm biased, but I have not heard one person that has heard this box, seen this box, and doesn't love it and keeps buying more and more. So definitely want to give all the Mojo and Mojo Mini enclosures a look, but especially those truck enclosures. And now, similar to the Mojo Mini with the smaller subwoofers, making it more versatile to fit in a lot more spaces, I'll take you to the MB enclosure, right? The enclosure we have here is our MBE8SP. This is an awesome 350 watt subwoofer in a small enclosure. MB is a very popular sub for us here. You can see Phil holding that up. It's very, very small. It's got a nice port on it to get that output. Also comes with rubber feet, so you can screw the rubber feet to the front of this box and downfire it to really protect that sub. And with it sitting up here, you can see the amplifier that's built into this MBE8SP. So this sub has a 300 watt amp built in, and you see by the connectors there, it's got a removable power lug, and it's got removable inputs. So even though this is small, you can have it downfiring. You can fit also everything else in your trunk because it doesn't take up much space. If you do have that Costco run, it's really easy to unplug and take this box out to give you more space. So this is an excellent subwoofer for those family guys that used to have a big box in their trunk and they still want that bass. Now they can get solid bass out of a small enclosure and not have to drive bass free, which no one likes to do. We also have a full line of MB enclosures, but the single and dual passive 8s, as well as this amplified 8, are definitely the most popular in the line.
Well, I guess, Nick, a great segue to our next category. It's going to have to be subwoofers. I mean, we're talking about enclosures. Let's get to the individual drivers. Now, again, many different levels in the Memphis audio offering. Where would you like to start? And I have a funny feeling it's going to be with a heavy duty one.
Yeah, let's start with the big 6.5 VIV 1422. So this subwoofer, our design came from, we wanted to make the biggest voice coil that we could make and still mass produce it, so we could have that single layer voice coil so we could easily keep the heat out but didn't have to worry about distortion when it did get hot. And that's where we came up with the 14 inches. It was the smallest we could make the sub while having the biggest production 7.5 inch voice coil. The coolest thing about this sub is it's 2200 watts and it's 14 inches, so it's going to put out some bass. It's going to really move that air. But in addition to that, with that single layer voice coil, with everything we've done to engineer it, low distortion, this woofer legitimately plays flat from 20 to 500. So this can be an SQL subwoofer as well as an SPL subwoofer. You can get lots of output, but you can also make it sound really, really clean.
A very unique and very high-end looking subwoofer. Very, very nice when it comes to that 6.5. I guess the next one on the list, Nick, we've got to go back to this Mojo series. I have a feeling this Mojo term is going to come up a lot during today's presentation. But the Mojo subwoofer line is also very popular. It's compact, it's got great features, and does it ever perform?
Yeah, Mojo subwoofers probably are the most synonymous with Memphis audio going back to the beginning of this century. So we always like to have our flagship woofer, our Mojo woofer, perform and outperform even everybody else in their category. So the Mojo woofer we have in a 15 and 12 inch, 1500 RMS, of course has the super cool flex technology built in, so these woofers can be 1 or 2 ohm. It's got the V-groove surround, so you're able to get more surface area to move more air while keeping that voice coil super linear. The beautiful fiber cone with the Mojo badge. We could probably get Phil here to try and move this woofer around to look at it. It's pretty light, so if he can't move it quickly, it's because he hasn't been working out. But you see the beautiful orange heatsink there to help get that heat out from the voice coil, keep that distortion low. Right there you can see the flex technology where it's set for 2 ohm right now, and those other 2 jumpers down there, you could put those on there and make it a 1 ohm sub, and then your amplifier connection there on the other side. Beautiful cast aluminum basket. And then if you look there at the back, you got your direct voice coil venting to help that voice coil stay cool when you're pumping 1500 watts through this thing and moving some serious air. And the big Mojo subs led us into our most popular subwoofer launch of all time, our mini Mojo subs, which come in 6.5 and 8 inch. That 6.5 is 600 RMS. The 8 inch is 900 RMS, and it really is a mini version of our big Mojo subs. So you can see there, we got that V-groove surround and fiber cone to really maximize the surface area, even on a little 6.5. And of course, it comes with the flex technology. So these are 1 and 2 ohm, just like their big brother, beautiful orange heatsink on these as well. So just think of the Mojo Minis as you put a Mojo subwoofer in the dryer and it came out 6.5 and 8 inches instead of 12 or 15 inches. These woofers outperform the competition in every way. And like I said, this is by far our most popular subwoofer launch in the history of the company. We a lot of times even have problem keeping them in stock in the past, but we're hopefully through that because we sell more than we can make. To be honest, they're an awesome subwoofer.
No doubt about it, Nick. Everybody loves those Mojo Minis. They're kind of become iconic at this point. But they have a certain sound signature. And when you have a customer that may be looking for that same great performance, maybe not as much power handling, but maybe a more musical signature, I think there's a series just under that Mojo Mini that could really serve this purpose.
Yeah, just below the Mojo line, we have our M7 woofer, and this is my favorite woofer. It is a perfect blend of output and clarity. So this woofer is going to be 750 RMS, 10 and 12, and it shares the basket with actually the Mojo Sub. It's a gray basket instead of black, but a little bit smaller motor than the Mojo, obviously 750 watts RMS instead of 1500. But this is a great sounding woofer. Has the flex technology, the V groove strength, shares a lot of the features really that all of our subwoofers have now. But it's a perfect blend of deep, loud bass while also sounding crystal clear. As I said, this is my favorite sub. It's an all around banger, whether you want to have listen to punchy, whether you want to listen to some deep bass, or if you just want to have some classical music playing, this sub is great for you.
And to round out our conversation on these subwoofer offerings, we know that the pro audio segment has been hot. We know we're going to be talking about some brand new pro gear designed for that pro sound. And of course, in the subwoofer side of things, there is a subwoofer specifically designed for this pro sound market.
Yes, pro audio has made a big push into the car audio world, and it's more commonplace. We really needed a subwoofer that could keep up with those really loud, crisp highs. So we came out with the Mojo Pro subwoofer. You hear me talk a lot in videos that we've done in the past about how we really do listen to our customers. Well, the Mojo Pro Sub is one of those where we got a ton of feedback from our customers saying we need a woofer at a specific price point that can keep up with these Mojo Pro highs and SRX Pro highs that you guys make. And this Mojo, that's how the Mojo Pro Subs were born. This is an awesome old school looking sub. It's got a big foam surround, paper cone, big bright orange Memphis logo on the dust cap, and the cast aluminum basket matches the Mojo Pro speakers. This comes in a dual 2 or dual 4. I get asked why this isn't in the flex technology, and to be honest, it's from listening to our customers. Our customers want this to be at a very specific price point, and as you can imagine, adding the flex technology brings the cost up, so we decided to keep these woofers at a traditional dual 2 or dual 4 ohm voice coil configuration. So this really is a sub that's designed to be boomy and loud to keep up with those pro audio highs.
Like we said at the very top, Memphis Audio is a full line brand that offers multiple levels in every single category. So we're going to switch over to amplifiers. And of course, the team at Memphis have created amplifiers to suit every line of speakers and subwoofers that they have. Now, that doesn't mean you can't cross mix, but it offers a great selection. So let's start from the very top, Nick. We're going to get into the VIV or the 6.5 series of amplifiers.
Yeah, Ben, these amplifiers really are the best amplifiers we've ever made. I kind of sound like an Apple commercial there, but I'm being legitimate. These amplifiers sound incredible. So in addition to being what I think are the best looking amplifiers on the market, these feature a digital preamp. So even though you're using traditional pots, you are controlling a digital preamp, which is super cool. If you want to take a look at the amplifier here, this is our Memphis Bell. This is our best selling model in the series. This is our 5-channel there. You see tout 1300 watts on there, and that is absolutely true. So this is going to give you 900 watts on the sub at 1 ohm. So this is an amplifier where you can really power some real bass, in addition to having obviously amplification for your highs as well. A couple of the really cool features about the 6.5 amplifier is there's multiple signal sensing to turn on, DC sense, audio sense, and just traditional switched. Make it real easy with the input configurations, whether you have 2, 4, or 5 channel input there. So part of the cool design element is we can check and see. We have Phil flip up the front door there and show you where all the controls are for this amplifier. Little magnet keeps that door closed, and all of your controls are right there. So as I mentioned at the beginning, even though these look like traditional analog pots, you do turn them like analog pots, but that has a digital preamp in there. So you're getting super precise crossover points up to 48 dB actually on the mono side. And then in classic Memphis fashion, this amplifier has color changing LEDs. So the front side of the amplifier lights up one of 7 colors, and then if the side of the amplifier also projects those 7 colors, so it glows around your amplifier. And you know, as we've talked earlier, that means that these amplifiers are going to put 3 dB more of output to all these speakers and subs you hook up to it. And that's just science. You can't even deny that. So the VIV series, our best sounding amplifiers, very versatile lineup of models, and you're looking right there at probably the coolest 5-channel that's ever been made with 900 watts on that mono section. The next amps I want to talk about is our super popular, brand new, just launched this year, Mojo Pro amplifiers. These have been extremely well received, and again, they came from a lot of our customer feedback, like we've talked about so many times. So we take a look at this amplifier. This amplifier has the beautiful orange stripe there, making it really stand out, just like all of our other Mojo Pro products with that aluminum and orange look. This is a 3,000 watt amp right here that Phil's holding. It's not that big considering this is a legitimate 3,000 watt amp. We put a lot of aluminum in that extruded heatsink with that old school look. It's just a nice looking classic amplifier. All of the monos, 1,000, 1,500, and 3,000 are strappable. So if you really want to get that stupid power all bundled together, you can with these. Very installer focused, with obviously comes with the bass knob and also the power ferrules there. So when you're hooking up the power and ground, make it really easy to get a solid connection. Obviously these amplifiers want a lot of juice because they're putting out a lot of power. So those ferrules make it real easy to get the power connections hooked up well. And then like our mono amplifiers do, we have the dual output section just to make it easier to get that speaker wire. Obviously this is a 3,000 watt amp, so you're not using AT gauge speaker wire to wire up a sub there. You need some space, so we give you that dual connector there. Obviously those are wired together. This is a mono amplifier, but just making it easy for install. And then in this series we also have the 800 watt 4-channel to give that high powered full range you need for the SRX Pro, and of course the Mojo Pro that matches this series perfectly. So if you haven't checked out the Mojo Pro amplifiers, you got to do so. 1,500, 1,000, 3,000 watt mono, and then our 800 watt 4-channel. Some of the coolest amplifiers we got. Last up, we're talking about our SE amplifiers. These are kind of the sleeper amplifier, I would say, in our amplifier series. They're our entry-level street edge, but they pack a lot of power in a small footprint. So we have 4 models in this series. We have the SE 1000, 2000, 3200, and the 1200.4. So the amplifier that we have pictured here is the SE 3200. This is an awesome 800 watt amplifier at 1 ohm, small, compact, and then when you see the price, you're going to be blown away. This amplifier series is really designed for anybody, but excellent for those customers that are looking for their first system, whether it be a 4-channel to power their speakers or a monoblock amplifier. And although these are entry-level amplifiers, they have a nice look. They're bulletproof. We do not get these back. These work extremely well. And the small footprint price make it a perfect amplifier for really anyone out there.
All right, Nick, from amplifiers, we're going to quickly head over to another strong category for Memphis here, and that is in the speaker line. Many different options here. But I gotta say, I hope we start with that VIV series. It is a very handsome set of speakers with some really cool proprietary design. And tell us all about it.
Yeah, our VIV speakers are so much better than any other speaker we've ever designed. These guys were probably close to 2 years in development. really sound amazing. I've done some blind listening tests against some speakers that are 2 to 3 times the price, and I have people that don't know what they're listening to choose our speakers over those. So they're an incredible sounding speaker. We have them in a 6.5-inch coax, a 6.5-inch component, a 3.5-inch component, and then the speaker set we're going to look at today is our 3-way component set that we have in studio to take a look at. So right off the bat, you'll notice, as Ben mentioned, very good looking speakers. Taking a look at the 6.5 mid here, you'll notice that it's got a nice gray color. Well, that is a sandwich cone. So that's fiberglass and foam glued together, so it gives you extremely light cone while I'm also making it extremely rigid to really get that accurate voice reproduction. We have the concentric ring there around the surround. That concentric ring is it's ribbed for your audio pleasure there. It's going to give you a much flatter response. So we're constantly looking to improve our stuff to make it sound better than the first version even. And then obviously looking at it, it's a great looking speaker. You got that beautiful 6.5 cast aluminum basket that matches the 6.5 subwoofer as well. So just a great looking speaker in addition to a great sounding speaker. And then you drop down to the 3.5 next to it, and it's just the 3.5 version. It's still got everything we just mentioned. Also that beautiful black aluminum phase plug in there. It's just a cute little version. That obviously comes in the 3-way, and you also can get that in the 3.5 component set. And then we have the silk dome tweeter that is housed in the aluminum housing. Very accurate, good sounding tweeter, versatile mounting options as well. And the one thing I'll mention, as it's see there sitting on the table, is the 3.5 bracket. The 3.5 speaker also comes with a bracket, so it'll fit 4 inches as well. Make it more versatile for some of the European cars to get it in that 4-inch hole. And then even the coax version comes with a crossover, so got some adjustments on the crossover there for the tweeter and the mid. So very cool functional crossover, whether it's the coax components or the 3-way component set that you see right here. Great sounding speaker. If you've not give these a listen, you definitely need to do so. Yeah, our VIV speakers are so much better than any other speaker we've ever designed. These guys were probably close to 2 years in development. Really sound amazing. I've done some blind listening tests against some speakers that are 2 to 3 times the price, and I have people that don't know what they're listening to choose our speakers over those. So they're an incredible sounding speaker. We have them in a 6.5-inch coax, a 6.5-inch component, a 3.5-inch component, and then the speaker set we're going to look at today is our 3-way component set that we have in studio to take a look at. So right off the bat, you'll notice, as Ben mentioned, very good looking speakers. Taking a look at the 6.5 mid here, you'll notice that it's got a nice gray color. Well, that is a sandwich cone. So that's fiberglass and foam glued together, so it gives you extremely light cone while I'm also making it extremely rigid to really get that accurate voice reproduction. We have the concentric ring there around the surround. That concentric ring is it's ribbed for your audio pleasure there. It's going to give you a much flatter response. So we're constantly looking to improve our stuff to make it sound better than the first version even. And then obviously looking at it, it's a great looking speaker. You got that beautiful 6.5 cast aluminum basket that matches the 6.5 subwoofer as well. So just a great looking speaker in addition to a great sounding speaker. And then you drop down to the 3.5 next to it, and it's just the 3.5 version. It's still got everything we just mentioned. Also that beautiful black aluminum phase plug in there. It's just a cute little version. That obviously comes in the 3-way, and you also can get that in the 3.5 component set. And then we have the silk dome tweeter that is housed in the aluminum housing. Very accurate, good sounding tweeter, versatile mounting options as well. And the one thing I'll mention, as it's see there sitting on the table, is the 3.5 bracket. The 3.5 speaker also comes with a bracket, so it'll fit 4 inches as well. Make it more versatile for some of the European cars to get it in that 4-inch hole. And then even the coax version comes with a crossover. So got some adjustments on the crossover there for the tweeter and the mid. So very cool functional crossover, whether it's the coax components or the three-way components that you see right here. Great sounding speaker. If you've not give these a listen, you definitely need to do so. So just below our 6.5 series, we have our M series speakers. And for the longest time, M series used to be MC was our high-end speaker line. Great sounding speaker. I mean, this thing has carbon fiber cone, awesome stamp basket, a lot more versatility as far as speaker sizes are concerned compared to the VIV. And what's super cool about them is the 5 1/4, 6.5, 5x7, and 6x9 are convertible. So that came from listening to our customers. As you know, there's a lot more cars out there that have a component set in 5x7 or 6x9, and we didn't want to have to keep adding SKUs to the line. Again, making it easier to do business. So that 5 1/4 and up sizes come in a convertible. So it can be a traditional coax, or you can split that up and have it be a component to get that sound split in, especially in the factory vehicles. They are tuned to sound good with their specific speaker location, so we make it real easy to get that good sound. This series has an aluminum tweeter, which it's funny, we made that change. We changed away from the aluminum tweeter about 15 years ago, and our customers went crazy yelling at us, "What did you do?" So this has a very unique sound, a very awesome sound in the M series. And with that versatile sizing and the convertible speaker, it just gives you a higher end speaker to sell in a lot more locations, and still a great value for the speaker build quality. And finally, our most popular speaker series, kind of like the Mojo is to Memphis, PR Speakers are to Memphis. This is our best selling, best well-known speaker line. And it's also probably the most flashy when it comes to the Memphis look and feel. So as you see Phil holding it there, we have the bright orange capacitor, the orange sticker in the back letting you know it's PR. Moving back to the front side, we have that black on black M logo ghosted into the cone there, really calling out that these are Memphis speakers. Pivotable tweeter, PI dome tweeter. These are a little bit tuned, a little brighter, so it really does cater to both factory replacement for someone who's wants to immediately their car is going to sound better because we have a little bit more clarity. And then at the price point we're at, typically our customers ask us for a little brighter speaker, so that's what these speakers are tuned specifically for it. The coolest part about these speakers is the versatility in sizes. So one of the best selling models we have is the PRX 27 2 3/4 plate speaker. We have 3.5, 4, all the way up to 6x9. We have shallow 3 ohm versions in 6.5, 5x7, 6x9. We have a 4x10 with a grill. We might be the last company to do a 4x10 with the grill, but hey, we're the go-to for that speaker. So extremely versatile lineup, great sounding speaker, everyday price point, and really fits any car, including some direct fit Toyota stuff that we have. So if you've not had PR speakers, then you've not heard of Memphis, because this is definitely one of the most popular things we've ever done.
Well, Nick, we've gone through the entire gambit, but I wanted to take a quick second just to touch on another category, which is surprisingly really cool when it comes to Memphis, and that is your accessory category. You kind of got some innovative products within there that I thought we should take the time to point out.
Yeah, we don't keep innovation just for amps, speakers, and subs. We also try to do that in the accessory line. So one of the coolest things we've come out with that's been super popular, and I'm a little bit biased because some of this came to be from my trunk itself. So we have our new D-Block PGM. Let's take a look at that real quick. That is a super cool. It's first of its kind in the industry. So you can see there it's got the rubber on it to waterproof it a bit. But on the right side on the top, you'll see you've got power and ground, odd gauge to 4 gauge, power and ground split for 2 amps. But then on the left side, you have 4 fused outputs for accessories. So you got ring terminal outputs, so you can add an LED controller, a DSP, an LED amplifier, any other accessories. And then you have the awesome T25 torque snapped into the lid there. Just trying to think of the installer so you don't lose the tool that you need. So very cool, first of its kind fuse block in the industry. And then to round out the rest of our product line, you'll see at the top we have our wireless bass knob for our VIV amplifiers, and then some of, for sure, the best looking accessories in the industry, hands down, with our orange and black, but a very wide array of RCAs and amp kits, distribution box, battery terminals, etc. And our customers just love this stuff. I mean, we have customers that sell that sell our wire. And we've actually got customers on board from our wire first, and they got into our speakers, amps, and subs later. So very cool accessory line. Definitely give us a look.
That was, of course, iconic president of Memphis, Mr. NICK LOMONACO himself, giving us all the details on a plethora of products today. Let me tell you, that was a jam-packed one. Now, if you're interested in finding out more details of any of the products presented on today's session, make sure you check out the website memphisaudio.com. Now, if you happen to be a dealer in Canada, Automobility is the official distributor for all things Memphis. It's been a couple years, but I'm going to go ahead and reach out to our good friend Phil Cameron, who's the product expert over at Automob. Now, Phil, tons of product covered today. I know we can talk about this for over and over in detail, but I have two-part question for you. Number one, the relationship with Automob and Memphis has now been going on, I believe it's third season. So let's get an update on how that's going. And why don't you touch on any of the cool products that you really felt stood out in today's presentation?
Yes, Ben, you are exactly right. This is our third year as partnership with Memphis, and it's going great. As you saw, tons of cool product to talk about, and it's always fun to have a president of such of a large company take time out of his busy schedule to talk about all the cool innovations that they have every day, every year. So I really like that part. And you know me, right? I am an installer at heart. I'm a technician. And the one product that caught my eye in all of this, and no, it's not the 15-inch, 60-pound woofer that was super easy to maneuver around. It's this little guy here, this little accessory block. This thing is awesome. It's so funny. I installed one just like this last week, and it made my install super easy. I love this fact that they think about the installers also with tons of cool little installation accessories. So that's it. If you have more information that you want to see, go on the website or talk to your automobility rep.
I want to take this opportunity and thank my guests today, both NICK LOMONACO from Memphis as well as Phil Cameron from Automob. And my closing statements on Memphis are as such. I don't know about the 3 dB more, performance when it comes to LED, but I do know that this is a brand packed with value and absolutely focused on innovation, consistently putting effort into redesign and creative new ideas that at the end of the day will be very attractive for customers and give you, the dealer, more tools to sell said product. That's it for this CMA Networks presentation brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.